we want to know how long each of three politicians will speak for. So we have the senator, so we'll say number of minutes on air. Then we have the governor, which will be the number of minutes again on air. And then we have the congresswoman, who will also want to determine how many minutes she'll be on the air. We know that the senator, a party elder, demands that he be on the screen at least twice as long as the governor. So the senator wants to be on greater than or equal to twice the governor's amount of time. We also know, on the basis of the total time taken by the senator and the governor, so the senator plus the governor's time, must be at least twice the time taken, 2 times the time taken by the congresswoman. We want to maximize the number of viewers. Now for each minute, now it really doesn't matter that it's over a 30-minute period, because each minute will be the same number of viewers depending on who's speaking. So 40,000 viewers for each minute the senator is on, 60 minutes for the congresswoman, for each minute the congresswoman is on, plus 50,000 viewers for each minute the governor is on. Now that's going to give us the total number of minutes. So we want, now you might say, okay, well we have all the constraints written down. However, also keep in mind that even though it's not explicit, the tricky part here is you have a half an hour. So the other constraint on the amount of time they're allowed to speak, because otherwise they could just speak infinitely long and all these constraints would be satisfied as long as, they could talk about 1,000 or 2,000 minutes as long as the senator speaks at least twice as long. So S plus G plus C must be less than or equal to the total number of minutes allowed, which is 30. Okay, so now we begin to think about our matrix. So we have 3 constraints, which means we're going to need 3 slack variables. So I'll write S, C, and G. The only reason I do S, C, G is because it's how our objective function is written. S1, S2, S3, then a objective value placeholder, and then the constant. So we have, for the first one, we got to get it in the form less than or equal to. So if we switch this and write 2g less than or equal to s, that means 2g minus s is less than or equal to 0. Okay, so 2g minus s, 0 c's, need a slack variable, constant is equal to 0. And then the second one, again we have a problem here because we want a less than or equal to, so 2c is less than or equal to s plus g, which means 2c minus s minus g less than or equal to 0. So that's the constraint we'll use. So 2c minus s minus g, slack variable, constant is 0. Similarly, we'll have s plus g plus c, so that they'll all be 1 coefficients. Need a slack variable in place, and the constant is 30. And then finally, remember, we need to subtract over because the placeholder for m must be a positive 1, means we need to subtract 40s, 60c, and 50g to get negative 40, negative 60, negative 50, 1 placeholder for the objective function value, and then 0 for the constant. So we'd enter this in, and there's the matrix that we just presented, and that looks to be about the same. And then finally, we look at the final matrix and see that the S, C, and G they're all going to get time, so they're all active columns. Here, for the senator, well, the senator should be allocated 13.3 minutes, the congresswoman should be allocated 10 minutes, and the governor should be given 6.67, so about 6 2/3 minutes, which would be about 6 minutes and 40 seconds. And that will optimize the number of viewers, because the TV station wants that, to 1,470,000 viewers. So that'll be 1.47 million viewers total.